Get ready for the Cindy Davis Show.
The Sylvers were America's singing sensation in the 70s, with candy-coated hits like Boogie Fever, Hotline, and High School Dance. Their superb harmony would set them apart from other singing groups in their era. Later, their little brother Foster would debut his solo hit single, Misdemeanor, that featured sisters Angie and Pat. Then, eventually, they would join the family, and the rest is history. Joining me now via Skype is Foster, Angie, and Pat Sylvers. First, I want to say that you all are a very beautiful family. You are. Yeah. Hey, so say hello to all of your adoring fans. Thank you guys for joining me by Skype. Now, you know you're a little bit kind of in slow motion, but that's okay. We get the gist of it, right? Okay. So where are you guys originally from?
The three of us actually are from California. And Leon's from Gary, Indiana. And Shane, Edmund, Jonathan, and Olympia were born in Tennessee.
Okay, and what about you, Foster? Did I hear?
I was born in Africa.
Christopher, everybody passed away. Pat and myself, we were born in California.
Oh, okay. I thought, okay, all right, cool, all right. And tell us what happened to Christopher.
Yeah, he passed of hepatitis B.
17.
At 17. What happened?
They couldn't tell us how he contracted hepatitis. You know, we didn't even tell my mother that he was really sick. He was just staying in his room, and then he got to the point where he wasn't eating, and of course he was obviously looking sick, and they had to force him in an ambulance to the hospital.
So sorry to hear that. So there were 10 of you then, right? Okay. Now, what was it like growing up as a Sylver? What was that like? Being in a group, young as you were, and was it a choice of you guys to be in the group? Did you want to be in the group? And what was it like being in the group?
I think each one of us has like a different, because I wanted to sing, but I didn't really know what it was going to entail, because we were kids. I was 12 years old. You know, I liked to sing. When Leon and them when the older Sylvers would sit around and sing, I would sit there with them. So whoever wasn't there, either one of us would fill in, you know. What I didn't like was the things that came with it. I hated rehearsal. You know, I was a kid. I didn't want to fucking out of rehearsal. We used to get up early on Saturday and leave the house so we went to rehearsal. As I got older, it was less enjoyable. You know, there was just a lot of things in the industry that I didn't like. And again, getting in the industry as a child and not knowing what to expect, you get disillusioned quickly. And for me personally, it made it real hard. The only part I liked was singing, you know. So,
what about you, Pat?
I love my family, so anytime I could be around them, I was happy.
Okay. What about you, Foster?
Just added icing to the cake.
Yeah, I bet. Foster,
you know,
what about you?
Some things, you know, like what Angie was saying.
Yeah.
I'm so good, but generally, I loved it.
Yeah. Did y'all pick on Foster when he was a kid? When y'all were kids, did y'all pick on him a lot?
I used to protect him. I used to up though. I remember. I used to feel like I had to protect Pat and Foster. You know, I didn't like the people picking on me.
Foster used to actually pick on me. Any type of game we were playing, Foster was always competitive. He would be out of control laughing at me because he won. He would make me so mad I would almost start crying. And then he would love to play me so he could beat me because he knew he was going to beat me every time. So he gets so mad. So he's picked on me. You picked on me.
was attacked an awful lot in school by boys.
Were you?
When I was a kid in Watts. It was not good. I had to fight about every other day. Actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
In Watts, yeah.
That was pretty much all. It was a lot of fighting.
Yeah.
Walking to preschool with my little clip-on tie. I was walking to school. I was about maybe 3 feet tall. And I was walking, 5 years old, and my mom had Chris in a stroller. And this boy named Stinky in the neighborhood came up and grabbed my head and slapped me and knocked my hair all out of whack. And I'm standing there, and he had his hand on my head, and I was swinging at him, trying to beat him up. And my mom left Chris right there and had someone watch him while she ran and chased him away.
Wow.
I got him later.
Oh, I bet they did. What was dating like for you guys being in the group?
Oh, good Lord.
At some point, you had to date. Foster, how did you handle all of the groupies?
I didn't. My mother had me by the ear, and I was in her room, and I never saw him. Like I said, I had problems with boys when I was in school.
Beating
so the
you
girls
up.
would like me, and the boys
would
did not
beat
like
you
me.
up.
So
yeah.
I stayed away. Yeah.
Did they beat you? You said they beat you up?
No.
Oh, they did? They did.
I'll tell you, my record is probably about 30-7.
Oh.
Because I was small, I had to figure out ways to handle myself.
How do you guys keep your afros so perfectly round?
You have to pick it out, you pick it all the way out, and then you take a scarf, a really, really thin chiffon scarf, and put it on and pat it down, and then slowly pull it off to keep it all nice and neat.
What was it like?
We had one time on stage, and oh boy, we had a good time laughing.
When y'all see those old performances on Soul Train, what goes through your mind? What do you think about when you see those old performances on Soul Train?
Well, actually, I counted how many times my hand switched to mics. Every episode, but we went on stage not knowing anything. They just put us on the stage and we went for what we did.
After watching things for a while, you just start becoming critical. It's like, I should move like this. I should move like this, you know?
Oh, yeah, I was like, oh.
You're too funny. Were you guys lip syncing?
On some of them.
On Soul Train we were, yeah.
Merv Griffin and Dinah Shore, they used to make us come in early. They would recut the music and then have us re-sing it.
Oh, okay.
So they, but they would still play that tape that they re-recorded.
Were you guys happy about the Unsung episode?
Yeah.
They did a good job.
Did a great job.
I wasn't there, but it was good.
Yeah.
Why weren't you there? Why? Because we were looking for you. Why weren't you there?
Well, I was incarcerated because of a violation of technicality.
A technicality, yeah.
Probation.
Okay. Well, you're here now. You're here now, and I got you on the Cindy Davis Show. Okay, so which one's Angie? Which one's Pat? I know, but just so the audience would know. Angie, raise your hand.
Angie.
Okay, Pat, and obviously Pat, and of course Foster. And when we come back, we'll have more with the Sylvers right after this.
Boogie Fever. Boogie down. Boogie Fever. I think it's going around. I took my baby to the drive-in show.
Okay, and we're back, and we're talking with the Sylvers. I'm talking with Pat, Angie, and Foster Sylvers of the Sylvers. Okay, guys, with the passing of Dick Clark, do you have any thoughts about that?
He was the most humble entertainer, mogul, legend, you can go on, that I've ever met. Him and Bill Cosby. I mean, very, very humble, very. There were regular people. Dick Clark remembered me. He saw me at a store, and I heard my name, and I turned around and looked, and it was Dick. He was, hey, how you doing? How's the family? And he always was. I was invited to go see this Michael Jackson performance that Dick did at a place in Pasadena, and there was not that many people there. It was some kind of shooting private thing, but when I came, he came over and sat and talked with me for about 30 minutes, 40 minutes, asking every question. And that's when he told me about the group, that there were some entities in the industry that was trying to hold us back. And not trying, did. And there was a lot of hating in the industry, you know. We were concerned, big said. And I took his word for it, because there was no way we never had a gold album. Name me one group that can sell out wherever they go and not have a gold album. Something's wrong with those numbers.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, you guys were very, and still is very talented. So I don't understand why there wasn't a gold album. There was some type of conspiracy against you guys?
Definitely. Boogie Fever sold 4 million singles. Out of 4 million people, 1 million can't buy the album? I don't believe that. Yeah, there was tampering with our distribution. You don't know if it was inside or what, but yeah, it was definitely tampering.
But that's not going to happen.
No, right.
This is a different day,
Right.
different time.
Different day, different time. Definitely, definitely. You live and you learn.
The things that I did like about Dick Clark was when the Sylvers were having lawsuit times and everything, like we mentioned on Unsung, he was one of the few in the industry that was not intimidated or didn't look at us like, oh, I don't feel like putting up with the hassle. He had us on several times, even when we didn't even have a hit at the you know. And so he was a really, really kind person and a real caring person. And the industry is, I believe, a great loss. Yeah.
And especially character.
Exactly.
He was a man of character.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Especially the black industry. A lot of black artists got their first look on TV from Dick Clark.
Mm-hmm.
And very few people talk about that.
Well, he was one of those people who put on artists that everyone else didn't. Like the Beatles, nobody wanted them coming out. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. He was the first one to put them on. Elvis Presley. Mm-hmm. He was the first one to do things that everyone else was like, oh, we don't want to do that. You know? And he didn't shy away from it. He didn't shy away from it. And like Pat said, he had a lot of character that everyone should take note of.
Right.
Yeah.
And so what about your thoughts about the passing of Don Cornelius? That was really shocking the way it happened.
Once again, he was a trailblazer also. And a legend. I mean, Don was cool. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
He had the cool. He was very intimidating. He was very tall.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah.
Boys, I was kind of scared of him when I saw him.
I remember he had a huge crush on Olympia.
Wait a minute, do tell more now. You said he had a huge crush on Olympia? We're talking about Don Cornelius had a huge crush on Olympia. Oh boy, that is just too cool. Really?
Yeah, once again, he pioneered and got a lot of people, especially black artists, who never had, no one else gave a chance to be a team.
Right.
What I think is sad about America, we seem to be one of the few countries that doesn't try to push our younger generation learning from the older generation. Each one of those gentlemen could have taught so much. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Somebody on Facebook did something I thought was really, and I didn't notice it. Both of their initials are the same, DC.
Wow. Wow.
I know.
Yeah.
I know, I didn't notice that. I was like, oh.
Okay, now let's focus on the songs that you guys did back then. I want to know when you recorded More Love by Smokey Robinson, and when you recorded songs like Love Me Tender, did you feel uncomfortable about singing some of the adult content?
I didn't know what love songs
That's just
were.
what I was going to
didn't
say.
have a clue.
I
They just told us what to
sing
say,
it.
and we were like, okay. You just saying whatever they told us to say.
I didn't even think about if these songs were appropriate for a child.
Exactly.
Or I just
know.
read them on a paper and sang it and left.
And Pat, were you embarrassed to sing some of those to do the backup with some of the lyrics on those love songs?
I think maybe a little bit.
Uh-huh.
I think maybe it was more so later that it's kind of clicked.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, we were kids, you know. But there was a little bit, I remember a little bit being a kid. There was a little bit of uncomfortableness.
Now, Foster, you did a song. Did you produce a song for Janet Jackson back in '81, right?
Yes, give me a love to me.
What was the name of it?
Come give your love to me.
Oh, okay. How did that do?
Well, I was doing what you mean? How did it sell? Or
Yeah.
right? You know, it did okay.
It did okay.
You know, it was her first album, and she did a great job singing it. She was so shy. She was the shyest person I've ever met to date at that time. You know, and she was very, very sweet. You know, I loved her. Janet was her heart. You know, she had a great heart. And I enjoyed working with her. Wanted to work more, you know. But due to the drug use I did at the time, after that, I just I wasn't in a position to do anything.
Right. Okay.
So I enjoyed the experience working with Janet, and it was an honor to do it.
Do you guys play any instruments?
Yeah.
Pat, what do you play?
I play the keyboards, the drums, a little bit of bass, and a little bit of guitar.
And
I just had so many instruments around. I was bored at home because I was always in the house. Everybody was gone, so I just started picking up their instruments and playing.
what about you, Foster?
I play bass guitar and drums, and very, very little keyboard, but on the computer I can play. Through Christ, I can do all things.
Yeah.
It was awesome. Computers are just awesome.
Yeah. And what about you, Angie? You play any instruments?
No.
Okay. Your voice is your instrument, right?
That's right.
Absolutely. What is your favorite Sylvers song? Do y'all have any favorite Sylvers songs that y'all done over the years?
Forever Yours.
Oh, yeah.
I Want to Go Through Love Changes. And That's What Love Is Made Of. Those are just three. There's a bunch of them that I love, but those three.
Misdemeanor and That's What Love Is Made Of.
And you, Pat?
Private Fever and High School Dance.
High School Dance, yeah. Boy, they played those songs forever in the 70s. And we love to see you guys when y'all came on Soul Train. Okay, we're going to take another break, and when we come back, we'll be talking more with the Sylvers right after this.
Up to 40% of businesses never recover after experiencing a major disaster. Make a plan at ready.gov/business.
And thank you for tuning in to the Cindy Davis Show. We're back, and I'm talking with Foster, Angie, and Pat Sylvers. And they will be answering questions from their fans on Facebook. Okay, guys. Did y'all know that we have that you have fans on Facebook group called You Were a Little Black Girl in the 70s?
Oh, no, I haven't heard that group.
It is a group that I co-administer, and we basically talk about back in the day and when we were little girls in the 70s. And there are fans that, if you don't mind answering questions from them. Okay, great. And I have a question from Dion Lewis Williams. Wants to know, how did it feel, Foster, being compared to young Michael Jackson?
Wow, that was an honor, especially the older I got. What else can you say? It was an honor being mentioned in the same breath as you believe it.
Awesome. I have a question though. You could have had the same longevity as the Jacksons. What do you think happened?
Well, like I said before, there was tampering with. You know how the rappers today beef with each other now? And some have died, managers have died, and there's been a lot of crazy stuff. But back in the day, it was more mild business people did. We weren't doing. We didn't have a clue. I talked to Michael on the phone three times a week. You know, he would call. We talked. We had no problems with each other, but the business people, somebody, paid somebody to stop us.
Wow.
We didn't have a chance. The card said, "You guys didn't have a chance."
Wow.
At the concert, we had a tour set up with the Jacksons, and nobody knows this. We had a whole 3-month tour, and it was Slave opened the show. We came on after Slave, and then the Jacksons.
Wow.
You know, right? But that was the time when they were on that tour. We were on that show with them, and Randy joined the group, and Randy was playing congas. Well, that tour, they sent us home after the second night.
That's the first night.
Yeah, after the first night. We did 2 shows. The first night we performed, the Jacksons performed afterwards. They came an hour later, remember? Then the next night we performed, and they said the Jacksons lost their uniforms, their shoes, or something. And they didn't perform the second night. And we went to the airport after that, and the representatives from Joe Jackson sent us home right there in the spot.
Wow.
So we never got a chance to finish the tour.
Wow, that is just unbelievable. I have another question from Jacqueline Jackson. Says, have you all thought about reuniting and with the remaining family members and taking the role on the show?
We're in the process of doing that now.
Great.
With Leon a few hours ago, and he and I, Foster, were talking about some of the different ideas that we have on the iron right now.
Okay. And so will you ever do another album? That is Wanda Smith's question.
That's what we're working on right now. Finishing it up.
Actually, about 3 of them.
Yeah, so we're working on like 3 different albums at one time. There'll be the Sylvers album, and then we're thinking about another thing that I'm going to leave that to be a surprise. And an album with more spiritual music.
Awesome. Now, Isis Hardy wants to know what's the status with the old albums, and will any of the 10 albums you've recorded be released on CD?
You know what? We don't have any control over those.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
Everything was lost. Money, control, everything.
What has this entire experience taught you, taught all of you?
Well, what it taught me was to be Curtis Mayfield. Keep on pushing! No matter what, call, get out. No matter what, call down the mountain, get out, climb back up. That's it. Just keep on pushing.
Keep on pushing? Yeah. What advice would you give to upcoming artists?
I would first of all say, know who you are. Because a lot of people are sadly mistaken when they think that they are a gift. God gives everyone a gift. For some, it's writing screenplays, for movies. Some is writing books. Some is writing music. And some it's acting, whatever. It could be business. Whatever it is, we are not the gift. But God has given us a gift to be a blessing to humanity. And then number 2, I would say, try to support those. have a support system. Because if you go out there by yourself, it's easy it's easy to be open play. And actually, I believe that number one actually should be God. Jesus Christ being a part of their lives. If not, we'll probably succeed to some degree. But when we don't give God the glory for what He's done and what He's given us in life, it's really not going to go as far as it could go. Schooling, number one, school. If you not stay in school, get your school. We were robbed of our school. We went on tour. Our manager lied to the Board of Education and said we had a tutor on the road. We didn't have a tutor.
You did not?
Yes, we did, because the Board of Education got on us, and they actually made us stop for a while until we got a tutor. So that had to be straightened out. We didn't keep going with that, but that did get straightened out.
Wow. Now, we only have a couple of minutes left in the show, and that's very good advice, guys. Very good advice. What are you guys doing now? People want to know, what are you doing now? Pat?
What I'm doing now, I'm very active and involved with my husband in the church. And actually, we're outside of the church, and we're beginning to do Bible studies and reach out to women. Mainly, I'm doing Bible study right now for women, and really seeing how so many out there are hurting.
Yeah.
And they are so strong in the fact that they don't give up on life. And so it's a blessing to be able to reach out.
And Foster?
I'm just giving God the glory, reading my word, and being a better father to my children, working out details with my older daughters. They're going through life right now.
Absolutely.
And finishing up the album God gave me to do for the Sylvers and other stuff, and doing jobs here and there.
Angie?
I have my own business. I'm a paralegal.
Oh.
And I also teach Bible study, because I remember about 4 years ago now, it was bothering me that people did not understand who Christ really is.
Absolutely.
And it's really breaking my heart that people were becoming born again, but they didn't understand what that meant. They didn't understand what it meant to be a Christian, to belong to the body of Christ. And I remember crying out, I was like, God, what is going on? And all I heard him tell me was teach them.
Okay.
And that was scary. I was like, well, okay, I know what to do.
Somebody than that you.
So I teach thankfully in my home, and it's a real relaxed situation. And I just started Skyping. A friend of mine from Chicago Skypes in, and my daughter Skypes in from Maryland. So we're just getting the bugs out of Skype during Bible study. But I love doing it. I love doing it.
Well, I want to say your talent is truly a gift from God, and I want to thank you for sharing your gift to the world. Thank you for tuning in to the Cindy Davis Show. Until next time, God bless.